this meeting to order and ask our newest board member, I don't see, oh, there she is, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, great, okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. That brings us to agenda item 3, approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
I
I'll
move
move
to
to approve the meeting minutes.
Mr. Hart.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Lane.
Any discussion? Ms. Boggs, will you call for, is she there?
No, she's
No.
not there. Mr. Lane, would you mind?
I
Call
can
for the
do
vote.
that. Yeah, let me find a paper. Mrs. Luke,
Aye.
Mr. Covington,
Aye.
Mr. Hart,
Aye.
Mr. Hobson,
Aye.
Mr. Watkins,
Aye.
and Lane is aye also.
Motion
Motion
carried. Yeah, thank you. That brings us to agenda item 4, call to the public. Dr. Wilson.
No, sir.
That brings us to agenda item 5, consent items. Do I have a motion to approve of the consent agenda items?
I'll move that we approve consent agenda items A through J.
Well, thank you for adding that. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Everybody's in a hurry tonight.
I don't know who seconded it there first. Is there
Covington.
any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Lane, will you call for the vote?
Mrs. Luke,
Aye.
Mr. Covington,
Aye.
Mr. Hart,
Aye.
Mr. Hobson,
Aye.
Mr. Watkins.
Aye.
Lane is aye also.
Motion carried. That brings us to agenda item 6, personnel. And 6A is personnel for classified and certified. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to combine A, B, and C together as one motion for personnel.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Lane, will you call for the vote?
Mrs. Luke,
Aye.
Mr. Covington,
Aye.
Mr. Hart,
Aye.
Mr. Hobson,
Aye.
Mr. Watkins.
Aye.
Lane is an aye.
Motion carried. That brings us to agenda item 7, information and discussion. Dr. Wilson?
I believe.
It's Kevin
Kevin,
Colville,
yes.
isn't it? Yes,
Threw me there.
Kevin.
Thank you, Mr. Watkins. There's basically 3 new policies. ACAA is necessitated by recent Supreme Court decision in Bostock interpreting Title IX. So this basically is a policy that tracks Title IX in that case. The COE review revealed that we did not have a refund policy in our policy. We had a policy, it just wasn't written down. So JFAC, the 2 regulations that go with it, are just to bring us in compliance with the COE. GCCAA is just the vacation and holiday policy for 12-month instructional employees. We had it for everybody else, but not for them. It's the policy we've been using, but now it's written down. And we revised the grievance policies to comply with the COE review, so that we made it a little bit broader, so it would cover more topics than what we just originally had, for just constitutional legal issues. And now students can grieve virtually anything, and that's it.
I have one question. In the JFACRA, how come you can only accumulate 45 days?
For sick time, is that what we're talking about?
That's tuition refund. withdrawal request, never mind. I'm talking
Why,
about-
why it has to be done within 45 days? That's a COE requirement.
Yeah. Obviously, we have to reimburse them within 45 days after
It's
they're
gotta
up,
be
or 10
automatic.
days. Within 10 days.
We can't wait for them to ask. It has to be automatic and has to be within 45 days. That's their requirement.
Okay. Sounds good.
If there are no other questions, we're done.
That moves us to agenda item 8, staff reports. Dr. Wilson?
So I feel like I should drag this out so that you all get your money's worth, because after this, there's not a lot on the agenda. So I feel like I gotta kind of draw this out.
Well, do your duty.
Everybody here at the table is saying, please don't, so I won't. So just a couple quick reports. Still working with Westmac and ASBA to have a meeting with them. As I said before, there were some challenges that Westmac was going through, that are fair challenges that we wanted to be respectful of. And so we're on the other side of those, so we'll continue to work with them to set a time for us to meet with them or just with ASBA and any other interested parties. I know that that's an issue that we need to get resolved sooner rather than later. So we're not sitting in a spot this time next year wondering of whether we stay with ASBA or not. So we're still working on that. Just a reminder, we're anticipating having the dedication to the aviation building in January. Our students are expected to be in that space beginning second semester. And in working with McCarthy, they're wanting to make sure that the space is absolutely ready for a dedication. So we're probably looking at that first meeting in January to have it out at the Power Campus and do the dedication then. We met with ASU to talk about the further expansion of the Power Campus. Really interesting conversation. I think one of the it's a blessing and a curse, because we're the first real tenant out on that big swath of land that they're going to develop. And so working with them to try to make sure that we're being good stewards of the land as well as fitting into the master plan. So we're going to continue to work with them in order to not only plan appropriately, but possibly work with them to do some off-site renovations, specifically try to work an opportunity to have some of the roads extended so that we have more than one entrance and one exit out at Power. If you've ever been out there when class is starting or dismissing, having one entrance in and out is really problematic, but having more than one would require development of some of the roads. So we want to work with ASU and see if we can't find a solution to that. And then as a reminder, our culinary department does a Thanksgiving sale, whether it's pies or breads or stuffing. So if you or your family are interested in that, please let me know, and I would be happy to buy them for you. Is that legal? I'd be happy to buy them for you for the holidays, because they're wonderful. So please let me know. We'd be happy to do that. And other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So short.
Yeah, I know. I'm learning, Mr. Covington. I'm learning. Concise.
Does that really bring us to agenda item 9?
It sure does.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
This might be a record. Does any 9A calendar, does any board member have an agenda to be added to the December 13 meeting?
I'm assuming that we're going to put in the evaluation for the superintendent at that time, and we have to do them before then and turn them in?
That's my understanding,
Yeah,
yes.
so my understanding is that you will get those mailed to you by the 10th of this month, so in the next day or two, emailed to you. You're asked to complete them and return them to Kevin, and he'll compile them and then aggregate them like we talked about before, and then conduct my evaluation that meeting. It has to be done by the end of the calendar year.
Will
So, yes.
there be a pre-stamped envelope and address to send it back in?
You can email it.
Huh? Oh, email? I don't text. I don't email. Okay.
You have to scan it to email.
Oh, you have to scan it. I have to scan it. I don't know.
But
Okay.
yes, that will be on the agenda the 13th.
That will be.
Yeah, you guys will need to do your evaluation of the superintendent prior to the end of the calendar year.
Prior to that meeting.
Correct, and then you have to conduct the evaluation that meeting as well.
Are there any other agenda items to be added?
Will there be an executive session meeting room over there?
Hearing none,
We do that next time.
I'll go to 9B, adjournment.
So
Do I have
moved.
a
Wow. Can I
a
just,
second?
can I just say one quick thing?
Oh, yeah.
Ms. Luke, thank you for your willingness to participate and be part of this organization. This is not typical, so don't,
No, this is
don't
not.
think this is what it is. I just want to make sure that's, understood.
Usually we're
I
here
don't
14
believe we
hours.
ever had a second yet.
I'll second.
Yes,
Yeah, there we go.
there we go.
Now, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Lane, will you call for the vote?
Mrs. Luke,
Aye.
Mr. Covington,
Aye.
Mr. Hart,
He said aye.
I didn't hear.
Mr.
Aye.
Hart, yeah, I didn't turn
Aye.
on my microphone, I'm sorry. Mr. Hobson,
Explaining my vote, we want to make sure our new board member is welcomed, and she does understand that this is so unusual that getting through at rocket speed is, God, 10 minutes. It's usually closer to an hour. But anyway, welcome, and aye.
Thank you.
all right, and Mr. Watkins,
I also would like to say welcome to the board. Sometimes we have way too much fun, but welcome.
Thank
Aye.
you.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Absolutely.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.
Thank you all. I appreciate the time.
Let you know, in the years I've been here, which is 15, this is a record.
It is too.
You